Good afternoon once again, everybody. I am with Dr. Veronica M. Brooks, and this is Texas in Color. I don't say it's the lighter side because we don't hold nothing back. Veronica come out punching, and I'm bobbing and weaving so she don't hit me by accident because what saying is she has a passion for what she's saying. She is sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I am too. You see, I lost my hair. I can't lose anything else. So I'm just tired of all the stuff going out there. I know we're supposed to talk about Texas, but I'm gonna dabble in a little bit on the the whole broad picture of the United States and how we're gonna tie it into Texas, because it's a good fit. Now, we got Donald Trump out there bumping his gums with that debate that came up. And when he said they're eating dogs and cats, the face on Kamala, she turned around and looked at him and started laughing. That right there is worth 10 million votes for that coming
Yeah.
out. And then his running mate, Mr. V.D. Vance. Yes, I call him V.D. Vance. And let me tell you the reason why I call him that. It's like a venereal disease running amok. And
Mhm.
that's what he's doing, is running amok. For him to talk about his own state is just ridiculous. And then what makes it so bad, that city does not have the resources to pay for all the bomb threats and everything going on. They just put around and had open season on Springfield, Ohio. And for them to do that is just ridiculous. And like I said, I'm gonna tie it into Texas. It's gonna get tied in. Before I tie it in, I gotta get Dr. Brooks' opinion on what I just said.
Thank you, Ron. Again, it's always a pleasure, talking with you. But first, the debate that just whooped him. Yeah, he got mopped up and everything else because they lie. They lie all the time. When they did that to those Haitian people, which it was JD Vance, the VD Vance person, he admitted that he lied. Basically, he said, if I have to create stories, you got to pull that video up and let them see that, because that's what he's going to do. But you created something to start turmoil in an area that was full of peace. And then on top of that, the Haitians came there, they came to work. Yes, they may wanted to get out of their country, but they came there because Springfield needed them, because they needed to build up the jobs, because actually them white people didn't want to do those type of jobs, those manufacturing jobs and things like that, because white people were just lazy. I'm not saying every white person, but they were just lazy. And so they came in and actually helped build the economy and everything in Springsdale, right? Is it Springsdale or Springsfield? And then
Springfield.
so my thing is, the Haitians came with a kind heart and everything, and they were happy. Even the people in the neighborhood, they said they were happy when they sat up there and literally made up a story about they eating my dogs and cats and all this stuff like that. They should have came back and straightened that out. But that lets you know what type of leader that is. That's not a leader. They don't know how to lead in the country. They don't know how to do it because they always stand up on lies. They don't stand up on building the people. And Trump never talks about building and connecting the people. He always talks about other things, the cats, the dogs, and hatred he spreads. He talks about all his crowds. That's the big thing. He got upset with uh Vice President Kamala Harris, and she just broke him all the way down because his crowds are nothing, because she's giving to the people. She's hearing the people. She's literally listening. And when Mark Cuban actually went up there and talked to, she heard him. You know, they want the people to be wealthy, actually, the middle class. And that's where you all have to pay attention. You have to pay attention. And if you have a business, make sure you have everything set up properly so you could go on and become a greater, bigger business to help the economy. But that is the reason why they're so different, because Madam President, and I can call her that if I want to, Madam President Kamala Harris is for the people. And when she picked Jasmine Crockett, I know for a fact, and I have proof of that, because when I was sitting there talking with Jasmine Crockett, I see they are for the people. They listen, they hear, and they move. And the thing is, when they hear you, you know, they'll tell you what's happening and why this happened and what's going on for us to get this done and all those things like that. They are true leaders for the American people. And that is why Kamala Harris, you got to vote for her, because she's going to make America one of the best places for us yet to come, because she loves America and she loves the people. And that is the big difference between Donald Trump, because Donald Trump's, he only sends out hate. Everything is hate. America this, American that. But the thing is, also, you all better get an understanding of Trump and how he is buddies with Putin. That's his, like, you know, he hanging out with our enemy that wants to destroy. So that's why in Ukraine, this is why America has to help Ukraine, because Putin wants to take over Ukraine. And if he takes over Ukraine, he wants to come after America. This is, it's all a strategy plot. And you have to learn these things and see what's really happening, because this is why, you know, they're protecting us, you know, from getting hurt here in America. That's what the Biden administration is about. Kamala Harris, and that's coming up to be president. Tim Walz, they're fighting because Tim Walz, that's another thing, because I know you asked me that, and I know I'm probably talking so much because I have so much in me. But the thing is, Tim Walz, the beauty about him, he's a person that cares for the people. That's what you want. You don't want nobody trying to kill people, because there's, in Texas, the death rate have went up for women because they didn't have trouble carrying the baby, and they needed to have an abortion, and they couldn't do it because the doctors are afraid to go to prison.
Mm-hmm.
Why in the world would you step in the middle of a doctor? You should not even be telling a doctor what to do. They're so different. You know, JD Vance, this is why we call you VD Vance, because you're bad, because you're agreeing with all that stuff what Trump is setting out there to do. The doctors, you should never tell them or threaten them what to do about a patient. That should always remain confidentiality. But the thing is, the women out there that are struggling and having trouble and actually literally dying because they cannot do a procedure on them to save them.
See?
And the thing is, if they could have saved the woman and abort that child, the woman could have had another child. See, the thing is, that's why you don't sit up there and have no woman walking around with a dead baby in her belly, because there's things that causes harm in the body, and you can't just let it sit there month after month and the baby is dead. No, we those things we cannot do. So my thing is, JD Vance is not the candidate to choose. He knows nothing about politics, actually. He doesn't even understand what is actually going on. Trump doesn't even understand in that fact. But Tim Walz, his heart is so for the people. What he did in his state, he helped to get all those kids free lunch. I thought that was the most beautiful
Yes.
thing, because he wasn't asking, he was watching and looking at the children coming to school, and he saw that they were hungry because there's single parents out there, they're struggling, and you
Mm-hmm.
can't really, the kids can't get but so much food. He cared enough because he wanted the kids to have some food so they can think better and do their homework better, do their schoolwork better. He cared about the kids, because if he was able to get the kids okay, he can help get the parents okay too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because sometimes parents are just, they don't talk, they don't speak up because of the struggle, because they're either telling, oh, they're going through these things, but they're afraid to say something. But when I saw all those parents around Tim Walz, man, that is a real coach. That Coach Walz, you are the bomb. I'm telling you, because you're for the people, and then those people love him. He's for all people. He's not just for one certain race. He's for all the race. He's for all America. And that's the thing. And he's totally against people telling women what to do with their body. That's the difference between him and so-called VD Vance.
So now I said we're going to tie this in with Texas, and that was a good segue for tying things in with Texas. We're talking about voting and what's the difference, the contrast between the candidates and stuff. And we have the same contrast here in Texas. But we got one person that's got his foot into everything, and that's Ken Paxton. And when you turn around and you try to suppress our vote, when you do a raid on little old ladies, they have them outside of their nightgowns and refuse to get a robe for them. First of all, you're a pervert for doing that. But then they didn't find anything. They went by one prosecutor I think they're harvesting votes. But there was no proof in that. To this day, there's no proof in that. But they upended this household, took all their electronic devices. See, what they want to do is find something minute on there and blow it up. Well, apparently this is going on 2 or 3 weeks. They haven't found anything yet. So Paxton was asked about that. He refused. Matter of fact, I think he walked off. He refused to answer. So if you're going to start right there, start manipulating and start doing things, you want to terrorize, and I'm going to use that word, terrorize people so they don't vote. And back in the 50s, it worked because people didn't go out and vote of color. When they came over there and they're in there, oh, no, don't go out and vote. Oh, it's a new time and a new day. You waking up too many sleepy giants right now by pulling that tactic. And he's proud of it. Just like the last presidential election we had, when Houston came up with them drive-through places, Abbott tried to stop that. He tried to stop early voting on Sundays after church. He wanted to stop that. They're doing anything that they can to stop minorities from voting. See,
that doesn't make sense. And Ken Paxton, you should be man enough. That's why I know you're trying to look up to your daddy, Donald Trump, because he's the same type of person. Every one of you guys that do that same thing, you follow him, and he's no good to you because you're going to end up in prison too if you don't stop doing what you're doing. You never go in nobody's house and raid, especially an elderly woman like that, and then don't have the decency to let her put her robe on or her clothes on, and she's an elderly woman. How could you even dare do that? Would you want somebody to do that to your mother, to your grandmother, to your even sister or your auntie? Would you like that? No, you wouldn't like that. So how in the world you're going to sit up there? You need to go openly and just apologize and debunk all that stuff when it's not true. They haven't found anything. So if it's not true, once you say so, be man enough to say so. That's my thing. Stand up like a man and be a man and say so instead of try to suppress everything. Let me tell you, Ken Paxton, you're not back in the 50s. This is a new generation, and they are upset, and they are not going to take that crap. They're not going to take it, and you can't be going messing with people's grandma and their mothers. That's one
Yeah,
thing you don't mess with. You leave them
exactly.
alone. So
Ex-
my thing is, why did you have to come now? That's my question. Why did you even have to come now? Because you wanted to get some more kudos from your daddy D Trump, Donald Trump? Is that what you wanted to do? So it doesn't make any sense why you even had to go do that. If you look at the history, you look at what people have been through. People do not want to go through that again. They don't want to go back, and I believe it will be very dangerous to go back because people have a different mindset. And that mindset is not going to be very good. You're pushing them in a corner, and then it's just going to cause a whole bunch of more violence and everything else. And violence is down right now. But
right.
you all are bringing up things and doing things that are unnecessary. So Kim Paxton, stop suppressing the vote. Stop that, and don't and come out and just be honest with yourself and apologize.
Yeah.
You know what? I would highly even respect you even more if you just stood up like a man should stand up instead of being a wuss.
Ooh, yes. I got one thing I'm gonna say. They have a tendency of doing things, and just to bring this back up again, I hope they don't do it, but I would say a couple weeks for the election, Kim Paxton will come back again and say they found something minute on electronic devices, proving that that's what they're doing. They will lie just to do that. And another point I'm going to make is when they had a chance, not in Texas, I think it was in Arizona and in Michigan, where they had the opening up the voter machines to see if they were cheating. Now, this is just my opinion, everybody, so don't take it as gospel. Did they open the machine, say if they're cheating, or opening them up to see how it works and how they can cheat? Did other people go and try to work for the election officials who hands that information over at the end of the day or end of the night and manipulate whatever they turn it over? That's something we got to look at because they infiltrated everything else. So once they infiltrated how to go to certain counties and steal those votes, as he says, how can they manipulate all that? Because you got to think ahead because I'm thinking they're just too cocky and confident right now. That's what I'm saying. Something is not right here. And we got
Right.
to be on the lookout and on aware of election day with some shenanigans going on.
Yes, exactly. Because as I see everything going on now, people moving a million votes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Moving voter registrations, moving over a million voter registration, and then turn around. I see another state moving 747,000 votes.
North Carolina.
Then I turn around and see somebody stealing the whole entire ballot box. That's what that thing tripped me out. And then I don't get that. And then you turn around here raiding people's home. Come on, you guys, just we don't want that, and we're tired of it. We see what you're doing. if you're gonna go and do that all over in different states, because y'all the buddy crew or whatever, you know, because you're hanging out with DT, and if you ain't got it yet, you know, he has. That was only 34 felons so far. Okay, he really had, I think, about 91. He's got so much more to go. So if you guys better really wake up and really think about what you're doing, because all these things, you know, these are illegal things to me. Shoot.
Yeah.
I think we should just go after them all. If that was the case, you know, Ken Paxton, Ted Cruz, and all of them, JD Vance, Donald Trump is already done because he has all the, you know, he got a whole lot.
Greg Abbott.
Yeah,
Let's not forget
Greg
about
Abbott,
Greg Abbott.
yes. All those people, you know, Santos, all those people. I don't know who you think you are, but you need to be better than that. And you're talking about all these transgender sex change. I'm starting to think y'all did all that because y'all wimpy. And you know what I'm saying? It's just they're doing things that are just way out of the ordinary. I saw JD Vance in his in the girl wig and the dress with the necklace. I saw that. But that was in his past life. And then I'm thinking you're talking against that too. The LBTQ, the ones that take up the whole alphabet. And so my thing is, you're, instead of being the hypocrite that you are being out there, and I'm talking to the, you know, Ted Cruz and Abbott and Ken Paxton and all of them, D. Trump and VD Vance, you know, it's just because I see them the most, and I'm looking at everybody, and then just the different states, and then I don't even want to get on Robinson right now because he's all jacked up too, trying to be like, see, following Donald Trump. Look what Donald Trump gets y'all into. Look, pay attention. And I think you should pay attention now because, you know, before you get in too deep and then you be up underneath the jail. So that's my take on that, because I don't appreciate all this voter suppression stuff, because I go and I check my registration every day.
All right, we're gonna leave it at that because we could talk about this for hours, but we did good. Veronica, you did good on this segment right here. We appreciate you coming on board, Dr. Veronica M. Brooks.
Thank you for the invite.
We will catch you on the next go around, because there will be some more go arounds. This is not gonna be the last you hear from Dr. Veronica M. Brooks. She will be on our show regularly.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, you take care, and we will talk to you later.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye for now.
Goodbye. Thank you for watching Texas in Color. Please tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button so you'll be notified each and every time we go on live.